Good to go. All right, welcome back to episode 2 of the Ball Boy podcast. I'm here with Darian Stewart, former Pro Bowl safety in the NFL, and I'm honored to have him on the channel, and I'm hoping to just have some cool conversation. So, with that being said, Darian, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce you.
All right.
You're a 10 seasons in the NFL, former Pro Bowl safety, former Super Bowl winner. And you amassed, about 400-something tackles in your career, 11 interceptions, and, oh yeah?
13, man. They don't
count the other
for
ones.
The playoffs. So.
Oh, shoot, okay, so those count.
Interceptions.
And then you had 92 starts, I think, if I remember correctly, yeah?
Close to it, yep.
So, how's retirement been treating you?
Retirement's been good, man.
Yeah?
I'm enjoying it. The family has grown since, retirement. And I'm really enjoying it. I tried my luck at coaching middle school football 2 years, and I'm taking a break from that, man. These kids, they different, so I'm gonna enjoy the family and raise them.
Nice, man. Yeah, and cool. Yeah, well, you're not too old. You're not too far removed from it. So let's track back about 15 years, 17 years. Let's go back to college. You were at University of South Carolina. You played with some.
My age, man.
Yeah. You played with some dogs there, Stephon Gilmore, Captain Munnerlin, and you made your way from there into the NFL. Tell me about college. What was your what do you remember when you think about South Carolina football?
Man, first off, Columbia, just being in the city of Columbia, it was the best time of my life, man. And, just being down there coming in with a bunch of, guys from all over, just meeting new people. That's what I envision college being like for me, just leaving Alabama. So it was good, man. Nothing but, great memories with good people and, relationships that I built that I still have to this day.
Heck yeah. I wanted to ask, what was your favorite moment from college football? Like, is there a specific, whether that can be like on the field or off the field, but like, what's one thing that you just like sticks out in your memory?
Ooh, man. Of course, the parties, man. Of course, the parties. We had a great time, man, in college. But just going to war with those guys, or just going through off-season workouts with them, just the grind. That's the thing. Those in the locker room, those are the things that I remember the most about my time in college. And like I said, those are some of my great friends to this day.
Yeah, man. What do you? I have a question. So there's kind of like a hotly debated topic. Whether you enjoy the NFL or college more? Because I mean, NFL you're making money, and now like NIL and everything. But it used to be that any money you made in college is under the table, right?
Yep.
So what do you think was just more like pure joy? Because you won a Super Bowl too. So you hit like the peak of an NFL. You made a Pro Bowl. You won a Super Bowl. You got a big contract from the Broncos. Mm-hmm. Did you think it was more pure enjoyment in college or NFL?
Man, NFL.
Really?
I had fun.
I was
in
not
college.
expecting that answer.
I had a good time in college, man. But I wasn't a fan of school. Like, I wasn't a fan of having to, get up at 5:30 in the morning. Like, it's changed a lot with how these kids go to school and how they attend classes. But, when I was there, we would have 5:30 workouts, and they'll schedule us for an 8 o'clock class. And that hurts for a college student.
In the NFL, though, do you not have like a 5:30 workout and then like another 8 o'clock workout? Or is it not that much?
Nah, it's not that bad, man.
Okay.
And in the NFL, it's strictly football. That's your livelihood. That's how you get your money. That's how you take care of your family. So when it came to, being in the NFL, I didn't have to worry about classes.
So it sounds like you really did not. I mean, that makes sense. Yeah.
Why would you? Made sense to me, man. I feel I got a PhD in football.
Heck yeah.
So I really enjoyed, my time around the game. And, so it's definitely NFL over college.
I think you could say you got a PhD in taking people's heads off too. I was talking to you before this about where you learned that, right? Because you were telling me you played offense before college. Mm-hmm. So you wouldn't expect someone that played what did you play, receiver?
Receiver,
Yeah,
running back, yeah.
To be a headhunter on the back end of a defense, and you were saying that there was a guy at South Carolina that taught you, like, you know, he transformed you almost. Tell me about that a little bit.
I had two of those guys, man. The mental part came from my guy Chris Hampton. Called him Radio. He's now the defensive coordinator, I think, at Oregon now, or he was formerly at Tulane. And he changed that program around, but he was always the smartest guy on the field. And when it came to thinking the game, I got it from him. He taught me. He was a junior my freshman year. From Memphis, Tennessee. So we connected, man, and I learned a lot playing, behind him. And as far as the physical game, my boy E. Cook, man, Emmanuel Cook from Palm Beach, Florida, you know, he had the right mindset when it came in for a tackle.
Yeah.
You know, I have never seen him ever get run over. You know, he has always brought the issue. And first day of training camp, I remember it like yesterday. We had a goal line package in, and it was a reverse given to one of our receivers, a big receiver too. And he read it, and he came through that hole and
just took him out,
made him cough that ball up. And he put everybody on notice that day.
That was a learning experience for you, probably.
Absolutely.
You were like, I want to be like that.
I want to hit like that. Yeah, absolutely.
Heck yeah, man. So you end up turning into that, I guess, what you wanted to be, and then you went undrafted. But I mean, everyone knows it doesn't mean anything, right?
No.
Like it's all that matters is what, like after.
It's a reason I went undrafted, man. I can say I should have led South Carolina in interceptions, man. I dealt with some injuries my senior year, but for the most part, I didn't make the plays that could have got me my first, in the first round.
There you go.
You know?
Honest, yeah.
I was always around the ball. There was no denying that. But when it came to making those interceptions, I tricked a lot of them, man.
Yeah.
I can acknowledge that, because when I got to the league, I knew what I was capable of, but I knew I had to capitalize, make those game-changing plays. You know?
And you did.
Yeah, so it came, I don't know how I lost my hands in college, but it happened. And,
hey, it was a long time ago, bro. Who cares,
man? But
I
tell you what, it was one of the great lessons in my life. Just to, you got to capitalize on those plays when they there, and because they don't come too often.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, for sure. So I wanted to talk about the meat and potatoes of this. I'm a big NFL fan, right? And I was a big fan of. I mean, I watched the Broncos and they were very good. They made the Super Bowl. Were you on the team, the first team that their offense broke records?
I think I was in
Tampa.
No, I was in Baltimore that year. Or
you went to Baltimore for 1 year, right?
Yeah, I was in Baltimore in 2014. What year did they get
2013, 14.
Yeah, okay. So
I think,
2014, 2015 playoffs. That's when I was in Baltimore. So I wasn't finishing my last year in St. Louis.
Did they play the Broncos in the playoffs? Did you guys play them?
I wasn't. That was the year before I got there. That's when they made that crazy.
The Joe Flacco, okay, I wasn't sure.
No, that wasn't me, man. But that might have been one of the reasons they came looking for me that next.
Maybe, yeah, that actually makes sense.
Yeah,
true.
But, I remember that game, and just to talk about that, man. Playing 10 years, I only went to the playoffs twice.
I did not know that. I did my research before this, but I did not know that. I just saw Super Bowl, Pro Bowl, and I was like, wow, impressive. I didn't know that.
Listen, man, it's hard to come by. So when you get to that, that point, you got to let them hang. Yeah.
Sure. That's a mentality.
I was in St. Louis. I started my first 4 years in St. Louis, and during that time, it was learning how to be a pro, learning how to take care of my body. I dealt with a lot of, hamstring issues.
Oh yeah, those are. Those don't heal.
No, absolutely, man. Not when you're a DB, man. You always constantly running. And funny thing, how I tore, they put me at, what a gunner is?
Gunner, like the one on special teams? You just go?
Yeah. So they pretty fast, right?
Yeah.
They put me at gunner. I remind you, I haven't played a snap the whole game. This is the first game of the season.
All right.
And I dressed out. Somebody went down on special teams. They decided to put me at gunner. I got out there and popped that hamstring, man.
First game.
First game, man. I said, man, I already knew. Gunner, not the gunner, but the cornerback, he was running with me step for step. I could not run him.
Oh,
but
man.
but yeah, that was.
So you lost the rep and you lost your hammy in the process?
All of it, man. That's saying, man. Being a rookie is
It's tough, probably. Yeah.
It's tough, but you gotta learn to, like I said, take care of your body and and just do everything it takes to be a pro.
Yeah. You were saying you only made the playoffs 2 times. I think after you retired, they added that the 7th team gets in. Did you know how like in AFC and NFC, right? Do you think that was good for the league, or it takes away some of the gratitude that like the grind to get into the playoffs? Because NBA is 8 teams, and like that makes sense, right? That's like half the league. But NFL, 12 out of 32 is, I mean, that's getting to the playoffs in itself is an accomplishment.
Yes.
So do you think it was good that they added the 7th team, or no? You don't agree with it?
To me, I really never paid it any attention. You still had to, you had to play the games that were scheduled. And so when it comes to that, it really doesn't matter. You just know if your quarterback situation is in shambles, then you more than likely don't have a chance.
Sure, even if they add teams, yeah.
So it's all about your quarterback play and just having a great defense.
Yeah. All right, defense. We're gonna talk about that. Your Super Bowl season with the Broncos, you guys were called the no-fly zone. I vividly remember this because it was around the same time that the Legion of Boom was a thing, and the Patriots, you know how they always had a good defense.
Right.
And then you guys came along, and I think, mind you, the Broncos that made the Super Bowl before you, I'm pretty sure they had like the best-ranked offense and one of the worst-ranked defenses. So y'all came out of nowhere, and you turned into the no-fly zone. You had, let me think, Aqib Talib, T.J. Ward, yourself, Chris Harris, Bradley Roby. Was that the secondary? So what, tell me about it. You think what do you think of it looking back at it? I mean, that was special.
We were special, as a group. Even the guys that you just named, man, we had other guys that played a lot of, pivotal roles. Omar Bolden, he was our punt returner, but he was a safety, backup safety. Exactly. So, and he was maybe in his 4th or 5th year at the time. We had Kayvon Webster, who was another gunner, great special team player who played big roles for us. So, that whole room was special, and everyone played their part well. David Bruton, he was a 6-year safety along with myself and TJ, who played in our down package where we brought a 6 DB in. So just everyone made an impact. That's how on those great teams, every single player. We had what it took to, up front to get the job done. But on that back end, everyone made, big plays and through that 16-game stretch.
Who was the leader of that defense? Because like on paper, right, if you watch it from a fan's perspective like myself, the best player, right, just who makes the most money, who makes the most big plays, it was Von Miller.
Right.
Is that also the leader of the defense?
Von and D. Ware. D. Ware were big parts of that defense, man, but it was a lot of us, man.
Everyone, yeah.
Yeah, T.J. Ward was one of those emotional leaders as well, man.
He was another headhunter. You guys were probably the worst team to see because
during that time for sure. That we were a problem, man, and we the record doesn't show no justice, but we had a lot of games where we only won by 7 points or less.
And when's a win?
Yeah, but those are the ones that matter down the stretch.
Oh, you're talking about, like when, all of that comes into play, defense stands up a little bit.
Being battle tested, and we found a way to win those games, which made it the playoff run even more special. Yeah.
Do you think that defense, that Broncos year, was the greatest defense ever, in your opinion? I don't think that's a far-fetched statement.
No, it's not. It's not, man. In 1 year, what we did was very special. I would definitely put us up there with the Legion of Boom,
the Bears.
The Bears and the Ravens, 2000 Ravens.
Oh, I forgot about them. Yeah.
So, shoot. And you got to have a ring to back it up. So,
for sure.
Yeah, we were definitely special that year, man.
Yeah, man. So that run, you took out. I know you took out the Patriots in the conference championship. They like scored in the very end, went for 2, and you stopped them, or something like that. Which is once again defense.
Yeah.
And then you end up going into you're playing Carolina in a neutral field, and at the time, I think the Panthers had just scored like 40 and steamrolled the Cardinals in the championship. Yeah. They destroyed the Seahawks. And I mean, living in Carolina, all I heard around me was unstoppable. Cam Newton's, at that time there was no answer.
Yeah.
Right. So like leading into the game, was there any doubt? I mean, look, you're retired now. You can be honest.
Yeah.
Was there any doubt that you just simply wouldn't be able to have an answer for him?
Nah.
Really?
I'm gonna answer that quickly.
Okay.
No, that what Cam did that year, man, he was special. He was MVP of the league, and you couldn't deny anything that he was doing, man. But it was also the weapons that was around him.
Like who? The running backs? I don't think they had good receivers. They had Jericho Cotchery. Oh, Greg Olsen was good.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what I'm going to. So you see it too. Their receivers weren't as good.
No.
They had Ted Ginn who could take the top off. You take that away, he wasn't gonna hurt you.
Oh, you're telling me why you weren't like? Oh, we're not. Yeah.
Yeah, like it was one of those things where you look at our defense. We had the secondary to strap anybody. We held Aaron Rodgers that year to 72 yards passing.
I didn't know that.
With all the receivers that he had.
Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And, that right there was one of the reasons why we weren't concerned because they were,
Sample size. You had the results going into it to back it up.
You take, you get to Cam, everything else will take care of itself. So
you saw that.
Yeah.
Von Miller and DeMarcus Ware took care of that. Yeah.
Him, Malik Jackson, man, we were.
I forgot about him too.
We were hunting that game. It was that was good to see. But even what made it even more special was our offense. Peyton, him finding a way to get points on the board.
Yeah, but Peyton wasn't. No. I mean, Peyton's one of the greatest players ever. But at that time, that's his last season. It was the defense driving it. Peyton didn't really.
Yeah, Peyton didn't, but he had the mental.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what separates a young quarterback and an old quarterback. Just being able to situation football.
Okay.
Just knowing when we need this this amount of yards, or when we really need to. Push the envelope.
Yeah.
It was one of those games. We played KC early in the year, and it's crazy. That was the last time that we beat KC.
They've won like 13 in a row. I saw that because they interviewed the new Broncos defensive end Frank Clark. I don't know if you know, and they were like, "So what do you think about the rivalry?" And he now on the Broncos just straight up was like, "You have to win to have a rivalry.
Yeah,
like there is no rivalry."
It's not, man. And
that's crazy.
That was those boys right there was tough, man. And but that was the last time we won in KC. And
wow.
So that was a special time right there. And
there was just a lot of special things that season, man.
Absolutely.
I feel like that, from a fan's perspective, was like the peak of sports. At the time, the NBA was peaking, the NFL was peaking. I don't know. I miss that a lot, man. That was a good time.
I think it's gotten better, man.
You do?
Yeah.
I feel like the defense has just gotten worse in every sport.
I think the defense has definitely gotten worse because of it's gotten softer, in terms of how they're calling it.
I wanted to ask you that. I was going to ask you about that exactly. Yeah, the new rules.
The new rules, man. I can't trust me. I've been fined a lot. I lost a lot of money from fines.
You probably get fined double as much if you played now.
Yeah, man. So I'll probably be suspended a couple games, man. The way they consider some of these tackles targeting when they're like 6'7" and you're only 5'6" foot.
Yeah.
And you're not going to hit them up top. You got to hit them low, man, because they can't go nowhere without their legs.
Yeah. Yep. Do you think so? I think it was not good for the league, but you think the new rules made the league softer, like in a bad way? Like I feel like from a viewing perspective, it's just not as good now. They're calling roughing the passers too that are just egregious, and like I don't know what they want the defenders to do. They have to have perfect form, perfectly no crown to the helmet. No, I mean I get the safety side of it, but you're signing up for it when you go to the NFL.
Absolutely. And it makes you slow down a little bit as a player. And like I said, it softens you up as a player too, in a sense, because when you go in there for these kill shots, you got to be careful not to duck your head, or you got to keep your head up. You can't go with the crown of your head.
You could get hurt too, also.
Exactly.
Which is with the new rules, because you have to like contort your body in certain ways and be so mindful of it.
Yeah, and that's kind of what hurts you, because that's why I'm so thankful I never dealt with any major injuries.
Yeah.
Because the moment you second guess yourself, man, that's when you get hurt. So you got to be, especially as a defender, man, you got to have your mind made up. If you're gonna get in that action, you better go. Because you standing around that pile, one of them linemen gonna come clean you up.
Yeah,
you know.
For sure. What do you? Kind of on a side note, but who was the best player you played with on that? Like anyone, because you played for the Ravens and Bucks as well. I needed to ask this one and get out of the way.
Yeah. No, I played with a lot of greats, man.
Who was the best secondary player? We'll start with that.
Best secondary player
Yeah.
I played with, who just, woo, man. Talib was him, and I would say him in terms of how he went and got that ball and what he did after.
Yeah,
you know,
pick sixes.
Yeah,
take
man,
it back.
He was special. So, and he did it at a consistently.
Yeah.
So, as far as the DB, I would say Talib.
And then,
sure.
well, what about front seven? So we'll make it easier. We'll segregate it.
Yeah, he can't.
How about you can't say Von Miller? How about that?
Trust me, you got Haloti Nada, you got Terrell.
Oh, you're going in the
Suggs,
vault now. I love this. Yeah.
Elmis Dumerville. You have you have DeMarcus Ware.
Yep.
You have Robert Quinn.
Did you play with Ray Lewis?
I did not play with Ray.
Okay.
He was gone the year I came in. Yeah, I can't, man. So many on that front seven.
Pick one, man. Come on. You got it. They're all great. We got that out of the way.
In terms of, I'm gonna say Haloti Nada.
Wow, what a shout out.
Because
Haloti Nada.
Haloti, he led us in interceptions that year. He didn't lead the team but for a short period of time that season, he led us in interceptions.
I would never have guessed that.
He'll hit it up in there and catch it and get somewhere. So he was athletic.
I love that reference, man. That's awesome. I've heard that name in 5 years, probably.
Yeah. No, he was a special big guy.
Great. Yeah. All right. What about the best offensive player you ever played with? Like when you played with them, because it's hard to pick against Peyton Manning.
Right.
But like when you were on a team with them, who would you say?
Steve Smith.
Okay.
Steve was a man in Baltimore, though.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, you guys probably
Steve
intertwined paths.
Yeah, Steve was a monster in Baltimore, boy. How he practiced and how he, just.
Let me ask you something. What was he saying in the locker room before that Panthers game? You remember how the Panthers gave up on him a bit, and he went ballistic on them that year.
Nah, he was. I really can't remember what was said, but of course he was a captain that game, and
was it in Carolina?
No, it was in Baltimore.
Okay.
It was in Baltimore, but we walked out with that win, and
I know he was talking.
He was happy, What do you say? Ice up, son. That's his little slang. Yeah. Oh, I love Steve, man. He's a great teammate as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so no disrespect intended, more like a humorous on the humorous side. But was there a particular play or player that you like went up against, or a play that happened when you were like, damn, it is time to retire? Like, was there ever like a guy that just burned the crap out of you and you're like, all right, that's it?
Nah, man, you can't run me out the league that fast like that, man.
Okay, I like the confidence.
It was never a moment where I felt like, you play in that league enough, you're gonna get your issue too. So I dished it out just as much as I got it. So it's all good.
Yeah.
Nobody has ever made me consider retirement.
All right, man. You did it. It was on your own terms.
I always, power of the tongue is real, and I always spoke 10 years in the NFL.
Oh, that was your goal?
I always spoke it, man. Even when I thought I could do more, it just felt right after that 10th year.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe nobody made you want to retire, but who is the best receiver you ever faced? I love hearing it from like an NFL player's perspective, because all we see is stats. Obviously the eye test when you watch a game.
Right.
But it's different when you're out there. Like some guys are just bigger. They're just bigger. They're just faster.
Yeah.
Who was the guy that maybe like there was a better player in the league at the time, but that you faced firsthand and you were like, wow,
Tyreek Hill.
Heck yeah, that's my
Yeah.
boy. That's the answer I wanted to hear.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's the one who made, Kelsey was nice and with the Chiefs, but you put Tyreek anywhere on that field, he gonna hurt you. And
As a Dolphins fan, I would not have wanted to hear anything else.
yeah,
So
that's-
perfect.
that might have been the hardest receiver, to deal with. 2 times a year. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I would say Tyreek.
that's a
AB was he was nice too. AB
before
got 2 of our corners fired. So,
he got them cut.
Yeah.
Dang,
So,
why were they on him in the first place? He should have the top guys on it, right?
Yeah, but
I guess everyone's an NFL player at that
everybody's
point.
an NFL player, but it's what he did after he got the ball in his hands that got him.
Okay,
out,
I know what you're saying. Yeah,
So AB, but I would definitely lead with Tyreek first.
cool.
Yeah, those short, speedy guys are they.
Because it's also harder to
It's a-
tackle them in open field, I'm guessing, because they're so low, their center of gravity. So that's
Yeah.
just, I don't even know how you drop a hard hit on them because they're so low. They're smaller than
You gotta shoot your gun, man. Or you gotta really when you see them, because it happens so fast. You can't let them stop their feet. Well, you can't stop your feet. The moment you stop your feet, you can't catch
over.
up. It's over.
Yeah, yeah. What was the? You got any scary stories in the NFL? Like any, like I don't know. I don't even know like what I'd classify as scary, but just like anything off the field or on the field that was just like an eye opener that you can think of.
I mean, so I used to deal with stingers. You know what stinger is?
Yeah.
Little pinched nerve. I used to deal with them a lot, man.
Oh, wow.
And if you want to see a man cry, break down, he get one of them. Like it'll break the hardest man down.
Can that also like create a sense of paralysis temporarily?
Yeah.
Or no,
in a
was it never that bad?
No, it was one of those. So when you get a pinched nerve or stinger, they take you in a tent and they treat it kind of like a concussion.
Oh.
So they'll
okay.
take you through a concussion protocol. But it's never that big of, it was this moment that I'm talking about, we was playing Thursday night football in Arizona.
Okay.
And
Was this when you were in Denver?
Yep. David, what's the running back?
Johnson?
Yep.
Okay.
Was running the ball, man. I tried to fill that gap. And he's a big boy.
That is a big boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. I hit him good, man. But shoot, I got the blunt of it, man. And it broke me down, bro.
Man.
I was on that field, and a lot
You
of
just
pain.
sitting there. Were you crying on the field?
No, I wanted to, but like I said, I couldn't cry. I was
You had
in
to
that
stay
much
strong.
pain. Just had to, wiggle on the ground. Just they know, come get me.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was one of the probably scary moments. I mean, I knew I could feel everything. It was just, that pain, shooting down your neck.
Jeez, man. That's scary. Yeah. All right, let's lighten it up a little bit. I don't want to like give you PTSD talking about
that's
that.
all good,
Let's
man.
talk about your first purchase or your dumbest purchase. I gotta hear it. I like hearing this because this could be when you got, because I looked up, you got a 2-year, like roughly $1 million deal out of college, right? Which,
Right,
because it was lower at the time.
Right.
And then you ended up getting a big contract from Denver, like a $30 million deal, which is not all guaranteed. I know in the NFL, it's like,
Right.
it's not actually what it
Smoke and
seems.
mirrors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at some point in one of those two situations, I know you made some purchase that you were like, what the hell am I doing? Or your wife was like, what are you doing?
Honestly,
All right, sorry about that. So back to what I was saying. Your purchase. Yeah, your purchase. So you got a big contract from Denver. Like I mentioned, you got a big contract you got your first ever contract where you go from, you see $1 million in front of you, right?
yeah.
What was the first purchase where you were just like, what am I doing?
I never really made that large of a purchase. If I made that large of a purpose, it went, it was for a good reason.
Okay.
I never asked myself, like, what am I doing with this? Because I ain't spending that much money on it.
Okay.
But, I was able to get my mom's a house, well before I got that $30 million deal. So that was probably a highlight,
Or the best purchase then, yeah.
Right.
That's
One
what
of the
everyone
best
dreams
things,
of.
just being able to do that for her. And yeah, I think I got my money at the right time,
Yeah.
He gave it to me when I,
God
when
is
I
good.
was able to handle it. So, yeah, I can't
Yeah,
complain
man.
about that.
Yeah. All right. Well, all right. Let's fast forward to this upcoming season. I want to get your opinion a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to ask you about the Broncos because they're a disaster. I don't know what's going on with them. Sean Payton signed over there, and it doesn't look like he's helping. That first
disaster.
I don't know.
Man. It's not good right now. And I thought
Russell Wilson looks like he was zapped or like thunderstruck of his touch.
Yeah.
Something about his magic is just gone.
Yeah.
Right?
Something's off. And sometimes change of scenery is good. Change of scenery is good.
The grass isn't always greener.
No, it's not, man. But I still do believe he's going to turn it around. But,
You still stay a little bit plugged in with Denver or not as much anymore?
Yeah, I'm plugged in to Denver and Baltimore.
Yeah.
Those are my two teams. I'm riding die with them.
Now, Baltimore's a little bit more encouraging this year because now Lamar has weapons finally, and he re-signed. And the defense is – I'm convinced Baltimore will never have a bad defense. They're just something about the culture, the city. It's just –
they hang their hat on their defensive side, man. And, they always going to keep them a quarterback to keep them in it, But – that defense that's where they gotta win. That's where they win the games.
It's the bread and butter for them.
Absolutely.
It's that simple, man. And they got stars on every level every year.
And like you said, it's ingrained in them. It's their culture out there. And every coach that I was with at the time, my time in Baltimore is still there now.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the continuity there is insane.
One of my teammates, I just recently heard he just became the special teams coordinator.
Who would that be?
Anthony Levine. So.
Crazy enough, I actually know who that is, just from playing Madden and whatever.
That's a big deal, man, and because he loves the game, and he was one of our captains.
Oh yeah,
that year.
Was he special teams captain?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He was a corner, right?
Yep, corner. Okay. He was everything, man.
It's one of those glue guys.
Yeah.
Everyone just likes to have him on their team.
You gotta have him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go. Let me get a prediction out of the AFC. I'm a Dolphins fan, but you don't have to say the Dolphins. I want your honest opinion.
Of course not.
Who do you think? Okay. Wait a minute. Actually, before anything, I got to ask you this because I forgot to ask Sam, or I guess I can't ask Sam this because he hasn't played yet, but you already you played a lot. It was a different time period, right? The Dolphins were not who I think they are now, which is a Super Bowl contender, all right? Look, I'm saying it. I'm throwing it out there. I think they are, okay? But if Tua stays healthy. But
that's the key. That's
the
key.
What was the mindset when you played Miami? Because I talked to one of my friends who played in the league. He's about your age now, maybe a little older. And he said, because he played for Buffalo for a little bit, and he said they would laugh when they played the Dolphins and they saw them on the schedule. And they would get excited. Don't tell me that was the same thing for you guys.
No.
Okay.
No, I didn't. We just knew to hydrate, man. I don't think I ever played Miami in any other – I played Miami in my last year in Tampa, and Tampa is still hot. So everywhere I played, it's been down there in Florida.
Yeah. Buffalo is complaining now because I don't know how intently you watch football now, but in week 3, I think last year, Buffalo came down to Miami, and like half of their team got cramps, and we beat them in the very end. And they're like complaining and trying to have the NFL switch it so that Miami is not allowed. What they like to do is they shade off their side and their sideline, and they make it even hotter on the other side.
Yeah.
So it's like a 40-degree difference. Do you think that's fair, honestly, as a player?
No, it's not. But
okay.
That's funny that you say that because they do that.
Really? Like you feel like
it's cooking in Miami.
Yeah.
When we play down there at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
See, but the reason why I don't think it's unfair is because that's all we have. Like if you play in Denver, you have the altitude and the snow. If you play in Buffalo, you have the snow. If you play in New England, you have this. So it's like, what do we get? Nothing. Like we just get like. So I feel like you need something to give you a competitive advantage. Yeah, I guess.
So I guess anything to help, but Shoot, I done lost in the Hard Rock Stadium.
You never did?
I have.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was hot that day too.
Was your QB Brock Osweiler at the time or no?
Yep, him or Trevor Simeon.
One of the two. Okay.
Yeah, one of the two.
I think I remember this.
Yeah, it was.
Do you know who Xavier Howard is?
I do.
I think he got a pick six that game.
He
right?
might have. Yeah,
okay.
He might have had 2 that game. Oh, now that you say it there, because he had the ball in his hands quite a bit.
Way too much.
Yeah.
He had it probably.
That was the case with our offense that year, man.
It happens, man. I bet that's tough. Is it frustrating? How do you take that as a defender? Because I don't know, man. Like, it's hard. You're doing your job, and you get out there, and your body takes a beating. Like, football aside, and then the guys on the other side of the ball are literally incapable of pulling their weight sometimes, right? Like, no name dropping or anything, but like in general, can that genuinely create a divide in the locker room, or it never gets that far?
You don't think it gets that far, but, some guys are, just
way too competitive, and they'll just
we competitive. It's alpha males in there, man, and but it's tough. It's sad because that moment Peyton retired. We weren't never the same, man.
Yeah.
I would say that I myself should have kept playing the free agent game. Because chasing the championships instead of chasing getting the money is always the goal, but
it's not as fulfilling. You don't think? As the championships.
Like you want to win, man. I couldn't stand losing, man. That's another reason that made me retire. At 10
You're
years.
Sick of it.
Like I said, I've been in the playoffs twice in 10 years.
What was your other season?
14, back-to-back years. 14,
okay.
15.
What did you? Where did you guys lose in those playoffs?
We lost to New England in the divisional. So we played.
You got your get back next year.
Yeah, I played the same teams to get to the championship. So we opened
the same exact.
Pittsburgh for the wild card, New England for the divisional. Wow. Lost in the divisional that first time. Second year in Denver, that's when we played Pittsburgh the first game. We had the bye week, so we played the first game in the divisional, then the AFC championship, the second against New England.
How good did that feel?
Felt great, man.
So good.
That bye week was needed, man. And
the bye week going into the Super Bowl, or what are you talking
going
about?
Going into the playoffs.
Oh, because you had the 1 seed.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So, Patriots went down to Miami a day before.
I remember this.
Might have got it in that night before. They went out to Miami and tricked it, and we got the number 1 seed. All we had to do was beat Cincy.
Man, that's so sad as a fan. The fact that I would grow up and every December I would just be like, well, I hope we can play spoiler to this team's playoff hopes. It was never like, let's gear up for a playoff run. I can't wait. It was always just, well, let's at least make the Patriots not get the 1 seed. Yeah. That sucked, man.
That helped us that year, man. And, like I said, we played Pittsburgh that year without Antonio Brown, but
Pittsburgh. So was this pre-Antonio Brown or was he hurt?
He had something going on in that game, but he didn't suit up. But still had Big Ben.
Mike
they had
Wallace,
them other boys.
maybe?
They had number 10.
Emmanuel Sanders.
No, he was with us.
Oh,
what's the other
shoot.
guy?
Number 10.
Martavius Bryant.
Oh.
Yeah. So
what happened with him is sad. He was so good, and now I don't know. Is it NFL too? They're not cracking down on weed as much anymore. I know the NBA, they're trying to push to stop it.
I don't know nothing about it. As far as I know, NFL is one of the ones that are the most
strict.
The most strict, man. And it's sad, but it is what it is.
I guess that the rules are the rules.
They only got one drug test every year, and you know when it is. So
really,
that's on you to if you fail it, then you just have a problem.
Yeah, that's sad. True. So, all right, we got a little off topic. I need to hear it though. AFC prediction: who's coming out? Is it the Chiefs again?
Man,
and don't be a homer. You can't pick the Broncos because everyone knows it's not happening.
Trust me, I wasn't about to say that. I'm rooting for them for sure. I want them to do well, but you got to get past Mahomes and them, man, because AFC has been a lot for the last 7 years with him under.
So you think it's them again?
Yeah, unless somebody if that quarterback play not right, it won't be. So it could be Josh Allen.
No, man. That's not happening.
Yeah, but I don't see it happening for any other team right now. Or it's either.
What about the
Chiefs?
Jets? I hate the Jets. No. But they just got Dalvin Cook last night too.
Yeah, that's a good pickup too.
I was sad.
I like their chances this year, but I see them win. Between them two gonna win. Ooh, now y'all division is tough.
I know, man. You got Belichick, who's self-explanatory.
Yeah,
the Dolphins are stacked now. Jalen Ramsey, Tyreek, Waddle, Tua when he's healthy. They're stacked. Right?
Yeah.
I'm biased too, but I think most people agree. The Jets are loaded. I think the Jets might have the best defense in the league, maybe, and then they got Rodgers and now Dalvin and Garrett Wilson.
Mosley, I think, still in linebacker
He is.
with him. And
Is that one of your boys?
Yeah, he was with me his rookie year in Baltimore. He's a special guy too. He's one of those. He had a hell of a rookie year. Was probably one of the best defensive players around the league that year.
Yeah. Okay, so it's a tough AFC, but we'll give it to the Chiefs.
Yeah, I got.
Is the NFC going to be the Eagles again, or is a dark horse like the Lions? Jack, that's for you. Or are the Eagles running it back?
I like the Eagles. To start off,
I tried.
I'm not a Cowboys fan by any means.
Jerry's world.
Yeah, but they might have a chance this year, man. Winning it through their defense. Their defense might make some plays. You mean
winning it through Micah Parsons? That's the whole
their secondary got stronger too. They added Stephon.
I forgot.
They got Diggs on the other side. I think they might, give the Eagles a run for their money in that division. So
I forgot they got Gilmore. No, you're right. Gilmore. I feel like you need. This could be different, but at least when you played, you needed 2 great secondary players, a great middle linebacker, and 2 great pass rushers. Like at the nucleus of a defense, and that's what they have. Yeah, I think so.
Need a great middle linebacker, and your 2 edge rushers got to be, on point.
Micah, and they have another one, don't they? Lawrence, DeMarcus Lawrence.
Yeah,
They have the corners. I guess maybe they don't have a middle linebacker anymore. They used to have Van Der Esch and Sean Lee. I don't really know who they have now, but Micah Parsons plays it all, so maybe he gets put there.
I like their chances this year in the NFC. But in NFC, honestly, it's tough because the win is coming out of AFC right now.
I agree. I think whoever wins the AFC is going to take it home.
Yeah.
Even though it's unpredictable, I don't know. The Eagles, I think, have the best chance.
Yeah.
Because Jalen Hurts has been there and he put on an incredible performance in the Super Bowl. It was a shame that they couldn't get it done.
Right.
The 49ers are again loaded, and Shanahan knows what he's doing.
Oh, that might be an NFC team.
The Lions are good.
Yeah.
The Vikings were amazing last year. They didn't lose that much this year, but I don't know. They might have been a fluke team.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. And then my boy Sam, Commanders could shock people. You never know. It's the NFL.
It could, man.
So,
Sam got to have a big year because it's going to, he just has to be poised, man, and, just – put the ball in his playmaker's hands. As long as he's doing that.
He's got a lot of them.
Yes, he does.
So we'll see.
All you got to do is get them that ball and use them legs when he's supposed to. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The other thing about the NFL that it's so unpredictable is because injuries are so much more rampant than any other sport, just because of the nature.
Yeah.
So when you predict it, so much can change. Look at the 49ers last year. They go all the way to the conference championship. They lose both quarterbacks.
Right.
And then what are you going to do? So it's you know what I mean? Even if they were, in my opinion, the better team, it doesn't matter. And so that's why it's hard to – I think luck in a weird way, like luck and injury, luck plays such a big part in the NFL more than any other sport.
No, it's one of those things where who's ever third, fourth string, they got to stay ready.
Yeah.
You never it's so unpredictable, and so with that you just gotta, like I say, stay ready, man, so you don't have to get ready. That's what one of my coaches used to always say.
We'll end on that then. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Absolutely. So that's the key. So you look at with San Fran, Brock Purdy.
You like him?
Yeah, I like him because when you play like that and he had nothing to lose, man. He had everything to gain.
Yeah.
And he played his tail off, and it got him a starting job, and and he's gonna be there for a long time because they shopping Trey Lance.
Yeah, and he doesn't look great. There's so many rumors about Lance that Shanahan doesn't. I saw something that Shanahan is like sabotaging him, which I don't know if I believe, because I don't think he would do that, because then your trade value goes down regardless.
I don't think it's one of those things you gotta stay putting in the work. He has the talent wise. It might be mental for him.
Maybe.
And understanding what it is that he's seeing.
Yeah.
Quarterback's not an easy job, but you put the ball in your playmaker's hands, you make your chances that much better.
Yeah.
But that's what I think Brock Purdy did the best. He gave his playmakers the ball, and and that's why he's in the position he's in now.
Cool. Yeah, we'll end on that. All right, so you got what? Cowboys? Is that who we're gonna say? Cowboys,
In the
Chiefs.
NFC? Yeah, I guess.
So and then the Chiefs take it.
Yeah, Chiefs gonna go, man. Unless
All right.
somebody got knocked Patrick Mahomes off top, man. He's the man right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but-
agree. Sadly, Tua, I'm cheering for you, but we'll see.
Cheering for him too, man. I like Tua. I
All
just
right.
hope he stays healthy. That's
Yeah.
the key.
Dude, fingers crossed.
Yeah,
Well,
but-
it was a pleasure having you.
Right on, man.
I appreciate it, man. And
appreciate you coming through.
I'll catch up with you later. We'll see if your prediction ends up coming to fruition.
It might, man. I think so. We'll see,
All right.
though.
Well, I'll see you guys later. I hope y'all enjoyed.
Right
Peace.
on.